and we back.
We are back.
Feels like we never left.
It does look like we never left. We should have just both brought a change of clothes, So
oh, yeah, that would have been great. I could have done that.
Yeah, you could have, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I got nothing in my... I could have threw a hoodie on.
Yeah.
But welcome back, everybody. If you're on the video, then you know we're still wearing the same shit. And now, if you're on the audio, you also know we're still wearing the same shit.
Absolutely.
Because we're doing this whole list in one big-ass podcastamania.
That's right. We made a list and we checking it twice.
And, pretty much everybody on it is either naughty or nice or both. So,
yeah. Some tweeners going on.
Yeah, man. That J.K. Simmons Santa Claus movie actually looks amazing. You seen the trailer for that?
Yeah,
right?
You showed that to me.
Yeah. I actually really want to see that.
Yeah, that looks better than it should.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you just told me about it on paper, I'd be like, but. Either that movie's going to actually be good, or whoever made that trailer is a genius.
Right.
Like, they are just an expert at marketing.
I mean, listen, like, the premise may sound silly to a lot of people. Like, for those of you who haven't heard of it, it's like J.K. Simmons, he's Santa Claus, but he's like a fucking, buff, swole-ass Santa, and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is like his head of security.
Yeah.
And somehow Chris Evans is factored into this.
Yeah, why they need his character is odd.
Yeah.
But it's a Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans buddy cop movie kind of.
Right.
With a Christmas twist on it.
Is it someone kidnapped Santa?
Yeah.
And they're trying to get Santa back. And it's like it sounds goofy, and it might be, but I applaud them not digging into the well of obscurity and like doing something original. You know?
I mean, that's rare in Hollywood these days.
Yeah. So, kudos to that movie.
Hats off to them. Since it's going to get brought up in a minute, Deadpool and Wolverine has probably passed a bill already.
I haven't been keeping up.
Yeah, so the Friday dailies won't be in, but it was at like 983.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So this weekend it'll top the box office again.
Right.
And it'll pass the bill mark. It may pass Joker. I don't know how far Joker was above the bill.
I don't remember either, but I think it stands a good chance.
Yeah, I think it definitely. It's got some legs on it, and I think the drop from weekend 1 to 2 was only like 70%, which was like a big deal for the MCU as of late. So, speaking of the MCU as of late,
ooh boy, we've covered the bottom half of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We had 52. We've done 27. We got 25 left.
25 more movies left to go.
This will be much more lighthearted and fun.
Yeah, this will be much more fun.
This is our top 25.
Yeah, because we just came from the pits of despair talking about Ant-Man 2 and Thor Love and Thunder and Quantumania and Eternals and Captain Marvel and all of the shit that no one wants to sit and suffer through. Yeah. And homies, like, some of you just watch these movies casually, and to those of you who are like that, hats off to you. But man, you may not think that some of those movies we named were that bad. They are.
They are.
Yeah.
And they're in the inverse of that, there's going to be some things on this top 25 that you're like, oh, well, actually that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So
for sure. Well, you know what? Without further ado, man, I think we should go ahead and get into this thing.
We should. It's my turn now, I think. We did the last set.
Almost. Obligatory introductions are still in order.
Yeah.
So, homies, one and all, welcome back to another very special episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with my good friend, my brother, the homie Caleb.
And if you're just now tuning in, which would be weird because this is going to be clearly labeled as a part 2, we are including everything from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that's considered canon right now. So, for example, we did include all of the Marvel Netflix shows. We included things like Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight, X-Men 97. We are not including anything from the Fox universe. The only things that are X-Men related on this list are X-Men 97 and Deadpool and Wolverine. We're not including anything from the Sony Spider-Verse without Spider-Man in it stuff. or any of the old Spider-Man movies. So only the 3 MCU Spider-Man entries will be included as far as that is concerned. Is there anything else? I think I covered it, right?
Yeah, make sure that you always check after you wipe.
Yes.
I think that's everything.
That is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure that that your TP is beard style and not mullet style.
Yes. Talking to you, Dylan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are here for the top 25. We hashed out the bottom 27, and let's get it rolling, man. So
Let's do it.
my next 5, so we're starting at 25 and going up.
Right.
My next 5 would be Hawkeye, WandaVision, Luke Cage, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and What If.
Okay. Trying to see here what we have in common. See, so you said you have Luke Cage on there.
Yeah, so Hawkeye, WandaVision, Luke Cage, Shang-Chi, What If.
All right, so we actually have Luke Cage, Shang-Chi, and What If in common.
Okay. Luke Cage was 24 for me, so I am fine putting it here.
Oh,
at
yeah,
25.
and Luke Cage, yeah. Did I already say Luke Cage? Yeah.
Well, Luke Cage was in your
That's right, yeah.
last set.
Yeah.
So Luke Cage should be in this one.
He
for you.
should,
So
yeah.
Luke Cage at 25.
Yeah.
The worst of the best, Luke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it could be worse. Literally.
I mean, honestly, like this is where we're getting to that point where I'm picking at certain things,
Right.
but ultimately, this is an enjoyable watch.
Right.
Either season of Luke Cage, if you were like, "Hey, man, you want to sit down and watch this?" I'd be like, "Yeah, man,
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
on the way.
Yeah.
Like, I'll pull up.
Right.
You know, let me go get some food real quick, and I'll
Right.
be there. You know,
Yeah.
great show overall. I mean, it doesn't have the most dynamic plot or the best
Right.
villains or anything like that. The villain in season 2 is incredible, though.
Oh, yeah, Bushmaster, I believe.
We have Bushmaster, but then Viola Davis's character, her other character,
yeah, her other MCU character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mariah.
Yeah, Mariah.
She was
right.
she was really the villain
Yeah.
of both seasons,
Yeah.
ultimately.
Yeah.
But Mariah was incredible in season 2.
Wait, was that Viola Davis?
Wasn't it?
No. I forget that actress's name. She was the actress in the beginning of the Civil War movie who was talking to Tony because it was her kid that died in the Sokovia attacks.
Yeah.
That was not Viola Davis.
Wow, that makes me feel really awful. Oh yeah, you're right. It's Alfre Woodard.
Alfre Woodard. That's right.
This is why lineups don't hold up across racial lines. Because I literally thought they were the same person until right now. That makes me feel awful. Just so you know.
It's okay. You remember the other day, Kevin confused Zendaya and Zazie Beetz, and I'm like, I guess he thinks all Miss girls look the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like that one really threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a much.
That one's much more understandable.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like these two even speak the same.
They do. Yeah.
Zendaya and Zazie Beetz don't look or sound anything alike.
Oh shit.
But yeah, she plays 2 different characters in the MCU.
She does. Yep.
I'm trying to see like what else she was in here, and I actually don't think I've ever seen anything else with her in it. She was in 12 Years a Slave and the new Lion King, and I hated that. So I've been doing everything I can to forget
That's one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
the remake for Lion King.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we talked about, right? It's like the first one was like the Disney movie of all time. And so they're like, oh yeah, well of course we're going to turn up for the remake or whatever.
Right.
And it's also like the most hated of the remakes.
Yeah.
It's bad. So like when they come out with this new Lion King movie, I bet it's going to fucking tank.
Probably. And also it's been so long, like who's really checking for it? Even if you like the last one that came out.
Yeah, this is like a Mufasa prequel or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm okay. James Earl Jones, I think the only time I've ever thought he did badly was in that Lion King remake.
Really?
I've never thought he did anything other than tremendous. But, I mean, he must have been sponsored by Verizon because he phoned that shit right in.
I mean, you got to think about it. He was like, man, I've already done this shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Why don't they just replay my shit? I mean, I'm sure he was happy to get paid again.
Yeah.
So we're going to do Luke Cage at 25.
Correct.
I'm
Luke Cage.
Not a line spoken by Luke Cage.
Mahershala Ali was also incredible in season 1.
Yeah, agreed.
And Mike Coulter, he's a great Luke Cage.
He is. Yeah, really, MCU should just get him again.
Right.
I don't know why they wouldn't. You can actually keep all of them except for Finn Jones.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with that.
And honestly, I really wouldn't even be mad if they just brought in. Well, Jessica Henwick is another character. She's in Shang-Chi. She's the sister, right?
Is she?
Am I doing this twice in one episode? Fuck.
You might be right. I don't remember her in Shang-Chi.
Please be in this movie. Please be in this movie. Please be in this movie.
It's even worse if you've done it twice with two different minorities.
Yeah. Up next, let's talk about The Boys Mexico and how they've cast Oscar Isaac as the lead. Yeah, I don't think she's in this. God damn it.
So good. We're pulling double duty today.
I thought she had an MCU character. Well, if she doesn't, just bring her over.
Yeah.
Yeah. They ended up doing that anyway. The show just ended up making her the Iron Fist.
That's true.
Yeah, canonically, Danny doesn't even
need to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Luke Cage at 25. And what else did we have in common?
Yeah, we also had Shang-Chi and What If. Wait, did we no, wait. This is also where the other shoe drops for me, for Werewolf by Night.
We already put. Yeah,
okay, I couldn't remember if we already put that down.
We had Werewolf by Night. It was on the last episode. We put Werewolf by Night at 28.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's not far off from where I had it on my list. So I just couldn't quite remember.
Let me hope that this is well perforated because this is the list.
Yeah.
This is a holy artifact now.
That's right. It's a homie relic.
Yeah, so I'll put that there so we can.
There we go.
Still see it. If you can read my chicken scratch, that is.
I can make out enough characters.
Yeah, to go. Okay, I think this is that. My 29 was Hawkeye.
Right, that's right.
I have WandaVision. What we both had Shang-Chi and What If.
Yep.
So I'm fine with Shang-Chi here at 24.
Yeah, that works for me because I had Shang-Chi at 23 anyway.
Yeah. I did too. I had it at 23.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Hey, we are exactly
right.
I think that might be the first time that's happened in the
so.
whole list where we had something at the exact same number.
Same spot.
It's hard to know because we keep, we have
Right.
to shift things around. But yeah, Shang-Chi was 23 for me as well. So it actually got bumped down. Somehow, we both had it at 23. But it got bumped down.
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. I don't know how that happens, but all right.
This movie, man, has some incredible parts. I mean, the action in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're a big action guy. Mm-hmm. Incredible. Although the fact that no one died during that bus fight is bullshit. Simu Liu does an incredible job here.
Yes.
I really liked him. Aquafina is.
I thought I would hate her in this.
Yeah, she's so hit or miss for me. Mm-hmm. I fucking hated her in The New Little Mermaid. A lot. I
just saw the rap scene that she did, and I was like, I'm gonna take a step back from this one.
So what's really funny is when we were watching that in the theater, I took the kids to see it.
Yeah.
Watching in the theater the first time, I didn't know that was coming. So I got up and went to the bathroom because I was like, just really had to go. You know, it's just like, I'm just gonna run there real quick. It's Little Mermaid. You know,
right? You know the story.
I know the story. So I missed it entirely, 100% missed it. Didn't see it at all. And then we got out, and Kay was like, "Let me show you what you missed while you're in that." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I think that's like a 0.5 off the score." She's atrocious in that. Miscast, you know,
right?
But she was great in this. Yeah. She's also in Crazy Rich Asian, which is probably the only rom-com I have ever like really enjoyed. I love that movie. It's really good, and I fucking hate a rom-com. God, I hate them. But it's just so well done.
Right. I heard it was good.
It is really good. She's great in that too. So, but I really liked her here.
We got a much better Mandarin this time around because I guess we got a Mandarin.
Yeah, and I didn't mind him at all. You know, the main problems with this movie, I actually really liked seeing Wong and Abomination. Like, that was cool to me.
It was random.
It was random. It was just kind of a reminder that Abomination is still out there. I guess so. We would go. So we would watch She-Hulk. Yeah. But at the time, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really, this movie is ruined entirely by its third act.
Right.
If you were to score it by act, Act 1 and 2, tremendous.
Well paced, well shot, great action.
Yeah. No, this is before we're going to do shitty effects. You know, this is before the CG started getting bad.
Right.
All good. The third act is just, it's like, they must have fired whoever wrote the first two acts in the script. And then the third act, they just like used AI to generate it or whatever, literally. And I'll be honest with you, the like 9-year-old kid in me, like, this motherfucker hit a dragon with a Kamehameha.
You're right.
I cannot hate on that. I'm not capable of it. But the 36-year-old podcaster in me is just like, this third act is fucking garbage. If this had been a incredible like duel between him and the Mandarin, I would have loved it. I was not as upset by the rings as you. I actually thought the way that they did the rings, like the actual effects of the rings, were really, really good. I enjoyed them. I just hate the third act. From the moment that they go see fucking Trevor, and they come across the little butt face thing,
the toy they can sell,
which I don't even think they sold. You know, say what you want about Batman and Robin, right? Say what you want about Joel Schumacher, rest in peace. They told that motherfucker to go sell some toys.
And he sold some toys.
I had them shits.
Yo, me too.
But they didn't even sell this thing that I know of.
I've never seen one.
And we go to cons and shit a lot, and I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Apparently, the butt face ostrich didn't set well with the focus groups.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. From the moment that they bring Trevor into this movie, you know, now what would have been crazy, and like if they wanted to use him, would be like for them to just have the Mandarin just kill his ass for like impersonating him,
right?
And that would have got a huge cheer from us.
Oh yeah,
you know, we would have popped for that,
right? But there was no need to bring him back because like the joke wasn't worth the squeeze.
No, it's like we just want to remind you guys that we did this to you,
right?
And then now we're gonna put him in the movie again. And then it has the same problem that the last Hobbit movie has, where it just goes into a bunch of CG nonsense at the end.
Yeah, it's a giant CG brawl. There's dragons and shit, and it just doesn't resonate.
And not in the good way. Dragons and shit.
Yeah. In most cases, you do not want to have a combination of those things near you.
I'm going to acquiesce on What If because of season 2. If there was only season 1 of What If, I would be fighting you to put it ahead of Hawkeye here.
I might do the same thing if that were the case.
But season 2 does exist.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
Season 2 is a thing, and we reviewed season 2 on this podcast. And I don't remember, but I believe I gave season 1 like a 9 point something.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I think we did both of those, right?
I think so. Yeah. And then for season 2, I mean, I gave like a 7 point something. Like it wasn't awful. It wasn't bad. It just
season 1, but worse.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was, right? It was like let's do like almost the same things, the same points we did for season 1, but just not nearly as good.
Yeah,
and I mean, it was, and towards the end, it kind of becomes the Peggy Carter show, which I didn't expect, and I like Captain Carter, but man, this is What If. Like, I want to see, like, show me what you got.
Yeah, those last 3 episodes especially were just really hard to suffer through.
Yeah, which those should be like the money episodes.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody should tell Game of Thrones that as well. Yeah, or House of the Dragon. I mean,
yeah, and Game of Thrones.
Yeah, either way. Yeah. Well, the Game of Thrones knew that at one point, and they just forgot it. You know. Okay, so we got What If? Are we cool with? So you had WandaVision. I have Hawkeye, WandaVision, and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness in here. Well, we only have 2 slots left, so Hawkeye and WandaVision for me.
I'll tell you what. I have WandaVision closer to that.
Okay.
So
let's go WandaVision 22.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a minute, man, because this was the. You know, before we saw any of it, we kind of questioned why they would move this up. Mm-hmm. But honestly, coming right out of Endgame, this was really the perfect thing to kick off the Disney Plus era with, because this was event television.
It was.
Like, they released an episode a week, and we were glued to it, man. Everybody was watching this.
I mean, I think I probably championed WandaVision harder than anyone that I know. I thoroughly enjoyed this show.
I mean, it was every week.
Yeah.
When this came on, you had to watch it when it came out, because the internet was all about this for the next few days after the show would come out. You would get spoiled in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Evan Peters was like all over the internet immediately.
You know, you had to bring him up because now I remembered why I didn't put it higher.
Yes.
I actually had it at number 19. But I'm definitely fine with putting it here at number 21. That's no big deal for me.
You moved it up. I had it at 26. So.
Oh yeah. But you know, like for me, you know, the Raph Boner stuff was just unnecessary entirely.
That was the first time that I was like legit pissed at Kevin Feige.
That's beyond. What's the step beyond blue balls? Because that's what we got.
Yeah, it was.
It's like a kick to the balls.
Yeah, it was just. You know, it was a. First of all, I can't blame them for all the Mephisto shit, because we did that to ourselves.
We did, and we looked way too deeply into shit. But, I mean, us as a collective, homies.
Yeah, because we actually didn't do it, but we're just including ourselves to make you guys feel better.
All right.
Matter of fact, I think we were shitting on you guys for
a little bit
at the time.
I mean, come on, you guys came up with some fucking dumb theories. Look at Quicksilver's hair; it's pointed up like horns. Yeah, y'all had some crazy fucking rumors.
Yeah. I remember Tony Stark being like, "If we don't stop Ultron, then we're doomed." And so, so therefore, no.
Yeah. Oh shit.
The Vision stuff we got in this, incredible.
Yep.
Wanda was amazing in this.
And the tone of this show was so perfectly done. It was shot like a classic 1950s or 60s sitcom.
Well, they actually went through the eras.
Yeah, they did. But there would be lingering shots that would just make it unsettling. Yeah. Purposely so. And so someone's calling me. And so I really dug that.
That ain't important. This is the top 25.
Right.
They should have called during like the bottom 40 or something.
Yeah. I would have loved to talk then.
Like, bro, you got this. I'll be back.
Right.
Yeah. Just put whatever you want.
Yeah, let's just scribble something down there.
We got the OG Captain Marvel here for the first time. Right? We got
And WandaVision?
Yeah. Didn't we get
Marvel?
No, I'm talking about we got is it Monica?
Oh, yeah. She was second Captain Marvel.
Oh, she was the second.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel was the original. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah, this is where we get Tiana Paris as Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't think of her first name. I was like Rambo.
Yeah.
Which
and,
if you say Rambo in a regular like American accent, it still sounds better than whatever the fuck Channing Tatum was trying to do.
You are really not having him as Gambit.
No. I if they cast him in a Gambit movie, First of all, I don't think they should make a Gambit movie. But if they cast him as Gambit, I'm out. Like I am vehemently.
Okay, what if they have like the perfect X-Men lineup for you, but then he's also in there as Gambit?
I'm gonna be angry. There will be a 30-minute rant on that review about how much I hate him as Gambit.
God damn.
This motherfucker's like 45. I mean, are we going to cast Harrison Ford as Wolverine? Like,
old man Logan never even got to be that old.
You're right. Well, I mean, technically,
but like not physically.
He never looked that.
Yeah.
Anyway, WandaVision.
Yeah. And again, like there are so many great things about this show, but for me, what kind of brought it down was the finale.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple things. One is the generic CG. Let's throw CG colors at each other.
Yeah.
Like that was just uninspired. And then it was also the fact, and this is what really set me off, was Monica telling Scarlet Witch that these people will never know what you've done for them. Like did you not see?
Yeah,
like
she held them captive for months. Yeah. Like,
yeah, against their will.
Yeah, and like fucking ruined their lives, all of them. We got the beekeeper guy.
Oh yeah, well Hazmat
Franklin.
Hazmat Franklin. Yes, right.
Still, I don't believe that Doctor Doom is actually the overarching villain of this phase, because I think technically isn't WandaVision the first thing in the multiverse saga?
Yeah.
I think that this is actually a Hazmat Franklin origin story.
It's all Hazmat.
And he's going to end up being the main villain of Secret Wars.
Holy shit. Long live Hazmat Franklin. I almost forgot about that gem of a character.
All of the Kangs are just Hazmat Franklin variants. If you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, there's a guy that they send into
the town.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the name. It's something View.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
Westview? Westview sounds right. Anyway, they send the guy into the town, and he has on like a beekeeper suit. And you just kind of never see the guy again.
Yeah, he goes in wearing a hazmat suit because they don't know what kind of contamination.
Oh, and it turns into a beekeeper suit.
It turns into a beekeeper suit.
Yeah. And then you just kind of never see that guy again. And we were like, yeah, he can be able to control bees.
It's Westview.
Yeah, it's because she says it in the Multiverse of Madness trailer.
Oh, okay.
And I will say that, like, connectivity-wise, holy fuck. If you watched Multiverse of Madness and didn't watch WandaVision, you had to have been insanely lost. That had to have been the craziest fucking heel turn.
Right. Like, Wanda's the Vision? I mean, she's the bad guy?
Yeah, like,
the villain?
What the... Because, I mean, she's only, like, good for about 25 seconds in that movie.
Yeah, like the first 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And Dr. Strange is like, I'm not falling for this shit. And she was like, I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had to try. I had to try.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So that's WandaVision. So we got to do 21. So for me, it's either Hawkeye or Multiverse of Madness, unless you got something else.
Well, I tell you what, because I know I'm already far from where you had Hawkeye.
I had it at 29. I think it is probably going to get the largest bump of anything on the list.
Yeah, that 29. God damn. Wow.
What you thinking, big dog?
So interestingly enough,
yeah, what did you have here?
Yeah, Doctor Strange 1 I had at 21.
You ranked Multiverse of Madness higher than Doctor Strange 1?
Yeah.
For real? Are you sure that's not a typo?
No. That's for realsies. I enjoyed Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness more than the first one.
Okay. I actually was like, where the fuck do I have Doctor Strange? But it's not that crazy. But like, yeah, Doctor Strange. We about to have. This is about to be so fun. I've got to say, we might just need to go ahead and throw Hawkeye in here and move on to the next set because my Doctor Strange is considerably higher. Doctor Strange 1 is not in the next set for me either.
Really?
Yeah. I'm actually of the thinking that if you swap their Iron Man 1 and Doctor Strange 1 as far as when they came out, that it would also flip the way they were received.
I don't think so. Villains being the main thing. Caecilius he's whatever to me.
Well, Caecilius is a throwaway, but I mean, I consider Dormammu to be the villain.
He's also a throwaway.
But the way that he resolved it was very unique.
Yeah,
you know that whole scene was really good.
Yeah. Okay, so I tell you, we'll go ahead and put we'll put Hawkeye here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Let's put Hawkeye at 21.
Yep.
And then that's your set. You got the next 5. That wraps up 25 through 21.
All right. Well,
and that lets me fold my paper up because I had Hawkeye way down here and like we in the top 20 now. Where did you have it? Just curious.
15 for me.
15.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
What's very funny is that's where Doctor Strange is.
Oh. Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, now we're doing 20 through 16.
Yeah, this is where it gets real tough because we're now arguing about shit we like.
So man, look. Ask this again. Have you already done The Dark World?
Yeah, we put that at 29.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't scratch that one out yet. So yeah, for me, it's gonna be Doctor Strange 1, Thor, Multiverse of Madness, Civil War, and I think something flew in here. And Spider-Man Homecoming. No, I'm sorry, Spider-Man. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
It better be Homecoming.
Take that. Rewind. So yeah, taking from the top. It's gonna actually be Far From Home, Doctor Strange, Thor, Civil War.
So Far From Home, Doctor Strange 1.
Yep.
Thor
1. Yep.
Civil War, Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness than Civil War. Civil War would rank higher than
So you have Civil War at 16?
Yeah.
Okay. So funny enough, we actually do have quite a few in common here. We have Multiverse of Madness in common.
Right.
We have Thor in common.
Okay.
So you're gonna be like, the fuck. All right, so my 20 was Iron Man 2, so we already scratched that. So technically, I'd have Multiverse of Madness in that slot. Mm-hmm. My 19 was Thor. My 18 is Homecoming. Interestingly enough.
Oh.
And then I go on to Guardians and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wow.
Deadpool and Wolverine is my number 16.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's start with where we got in common.
Yep.
How dead set are you about Multiverse of Madness being above Doctor Strange 1? Because I will say, I know you're very much big on the antagonist.
Yeah.
And I am too. Doctor Strange 2 definitely has one of the better antagonists.
So here's the thing, right? Like, even on my list, they're not far apart. Like, they're in the same 5 numbered bracket.
Yeah.
So, and it's like I enjoy them both. Doctor Strange 1 just feels a lot safer.
It is safe.
Compared to Multiverse of Madness. And don't get me wrong, not everything about Multiverse of Madness hits,
I think that Multiverse of Madness has deeper losses than Doctor Strange 1, but it does have higher peaks as well. It has a better villain. Like, Wanda's story is great. The shield kill with Captain Carter was incredible.
Ooh, yeah, that was gruesome.
It loses major fucking points for Reed Richards.
It's weird, right? Because on one hand, it's kind of a wash for me. They gain points for introducing the Illuminati, but then they lose points for the lack of intellect.
It's because it wasn't inspired, right?
Yeah.
You can tell with it that they literally went, fuck, we got to get some in-game-esque theater pops, you know? Because you could take that whole segment out of the movie, and it's really the same movie.
Right.
It's literally just, okay, well, we ended up in this universe. Oh, well, these things happen, and then they all get killed, and then they leave.
Yeah.
So it's literally just like a pit stop. You could take it out of the plot, and it doesn't help or hurt it, really. I mean...
Yeah. You're right. It just gives Wanda more of a chance to be a monster.
I would have liked to have actually seen maybe they leave Captain Rambeau and Black Bolt out and give us some actual, like, more time for Xavier and Wanda.
Yeah.
Because, like, that could have been a whole scene.
Oh, yeah.
A whole segment.
Right.
Him and Wanda going at it with, like, the mind powers and shit would have been really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Give us something kind of akin to the Mysterio fight, kind of.
Right.
But that's kind of a missed opportunity, and honestly, the Patrick Stewart cameo is mostly wasted.
Yeah. I'll give you that. I mean, I'm not... it's not like a line in the sand that I have to have Multiverse of Madness ranked higher than Doctor Strange 1. So if we want to switch those, we can.
Are we both set on those being 19 and 20, though? Because honestly, I don't...
Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, I would really prefer to put Far From Home there first.
Okay. Well, let's go Doctor Strange. So I'm fine with Doctor Strange 1 in the 20 slot. Okay. So we'll put that in there. So now we're talking about whether Multiverse of Madness or Far From Home. Far From Home, to me, I have Far From Home not significantly higher, but it's not in this bracket. I really like Far From Home. I thought that Far From Home was like the first time that they followed a big phase-ending Avengers movie with a movie that didn't shit all over it, Like, the whole, like, how this movie is kind of a tribute to Tony Stark, with Peter taking up his legacy. Those aspects of this movie, I feel like they nailed. I'm going to tell you, chills in the fucking theater when... at the end, when Peter's designing the suit, the end of the movie, Joel Schumacher suit upgrade, and there's that moment where Happy is watching him, and you can tell that he's yes, this is the heir to Tony Stark, basically, because he's watching him like manipulate the thing and all. Like the acting in that scene from Jon Favreau was incredible. Like just the way that shot hits on the emotional level, got all the beats and everything. I like the European setting of it. I thought they nailed that aspect of it without spending too much time on it. I like the tone of this movie a lot. I think the only thing that I maybe don't like about this movie, well, two things. I do not like the scroll reveal, although I get it. But I do think it cheapens the rest of the movie. And I don't like just the kind of ridiculous nature of Mysterio's plot.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I did not care for Far From Home that much, with the exception of one scene. I thought it was kind of mid, and that one scene being, of course, the first Mysterio mindfuck scene with Peter. I thought that was tremendous.
I'm gonna counter that with it. I bet that there's at least two, because the scene at the end where he actually beats him, where he uses the Spidey sense, like where he uses the illusion shit on him again, but his spider sense lets him get through it. I fucking love that part. I thought that was tremendous.
I thought it was a good finish, but I'm not gonna say that it, like, it was fine. Yeah. It was a good conclusion. I'm glad that, because they introduced the spider sense in, what was it, Infinity War? The first time we see the hair stand up, and then we finally get a full grasp of it here.
They have to talk about it. Is this where they first start calling it the Peter Tingle?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there was a bunch of criticism about him not talking about it in Homecoming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like this movie, like across the board, it's fine. This is the Spider-Man movie in the MCU that I've watched the least. Yeah, it's never really resonated with me. I actually dislike the fact that this is an ode to Tony Stark.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, when is this kid finally ever gonna get his own movie? And then,
well,
thankfully
he got
we
it.
do. Yeah, but I said, thankfully we do finally get that.
Yeah. Well, see, I think this is really what they needed. Like, this movie to me is about the passing of the torch from Tony to Peter.
Hey, I don't think that was a torch that should have been passed.
But he's dead.
Yeah, I'm aware. Like, it's okay. The torch can go out. Get another one.
Well,
it's like, why does Spider-Man need to be the new Tony Stark?
I think because of the way that it's framed in the MCU, I think it was the next logical step.
Yeah, were they aware that they were going to do Ironheart?
Well, I think honestly though, it's not really so much about being the next Iron Man as more as it is about being like the face of like the Avengers, basically. Or if not the face, then like at least like a person who's looked upon by the public as like somebody that's gonna help them or whatnot. And that's the thing. What it really comes down to is like, how long do you really want to have Spider-Man in that role?
Right.
And as we see, he doesn't stay in it for very long because this may just go into the genius of No Way Home is like the end of this movie feeds directly into that one.
Yeah.
And we see that Spider-Man doesn't work with the entire world's attention on him.
Right.
In that, like, this very public figure of Peter Parker, it doesn't work. And I actually really like that the MCU told that story. Now, whether they backed themselves into a corner and then expertly dug themselves out of it, or they had that going all along.
Either way, they made it work.
If they did have that going all along, it was definitely Kevin Feige. It definitely wasn't Amy Pascal.
Yeah, so, I mean, and listen, like, obviously I have my own problems with Multiverse of Madness as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I would be fine with putting Multiverse of Madness there at 19, but Far From Home's not far from.
So we both have Thor in the. I have Thor in the 19 spot. Where do you have Thor at? I know it was on your list.
Yes. I actually had Thor at 20.
All right, so why don't we actually stick Thor here?
Okay.
So I'm thinking Thor, Multiverse of Madness, and then Far From Home. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, we'll make that work.
Man, I think Thor 1 is actually, I think people forget how good this movie is.
Absolutely.
It's entirely shot like a like a mythology tragedy, and it needed to be.
It needed that, right? And so I will say this, like the one kind of glaring problem with Thor 1 is we get a lot more Donald Blake, which is like the human identity of Thor.
It did go on for too long.
Yeah. But I thought that like the character usage was great. I mean, you know how I feel about Loki in this movie. Like this is just
oh yeah,
this is prime Loki. The Loki here through Avengers 1 is really why Loki ranked so high on mine and Kevin's villain list, because Kevin was ready to be done with them.
Yeah,
I was like, man, Loki here, he's prime. And there's these scenes between Odin, Thor, and Loki early on in the movie that are just excellent, and like the acting done by those three I think it's just top notch.
Agreed.
So there's a lot here that I like. I even like the fact that they use the Destroyer armor as like the villain here in the first one. Granted, it was just a giant CG thing, but
Loki actually, I think still, even in Ragnarok and Infinity War, still was great.
I really liked him in Infinity War.
And the little bit we get, very little bit we get him in Endgame.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's probably one of the few people in Ragnarok that like comes out not unscathed, but without like major. Like he has some great moments in Ragnarok. His reaction to the Hulk showing up was fucking great.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the few moments in that movie that really lands.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, motherfucker, all right, well, this has been cool, but I think I'm gonna get the fuck out of here now.
Right.
Because damn, the Hulk beat his ass.
Oh yeah. Relentlessly so.
But this movie is great. Like, I don't think that it could have continued. They could have continued to play out this way. I think them switching to Alan Taylor for the second one was good, But I think that as an origin story, this first entry for Thor was great.
Yeah,
so
I think so too. Like it's this guy, and I hate to be this guy, but I will go ahead just for the sake of the joke here. But I do wonder. Jane Foster is not giving this man a chance in hell if he's not Chris fucking Hemsworth.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just some crazy guy that should be avoided at all costs.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if he wasn't a 10, like she's over there on her social media. I don't know what it would have been, Facebook at this point, maybe.
I think so. 2010, maybe Twitter.
Yeah,
early Twitter.
Yeah, early Facebook too.
Yeah.
Facebook's like 08. Yeah, I mean, she would have been like, he's a 10, but...
Yeah, he thinks he's a fucking god.
Yeah.
And not on the ego trip.
She also did hit him with her car twice.
She did, yeah. So she kind of owed him something.
We also got, what's her name that's in WandaVision in this?
Darcy.
Darcy, yeah.
Man.
They should put her in more things.
They should. Anything.
Yeah. She'd have been great in Moon Knight.
Make her like the new Stan Lee. She's just everywhere.
Yeah. She'd have been great as a TVA agent.
Right.
Any of these things.
Yeah.
Really would have liked to see her in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Defenders.
Defenders. No Way Home.
Yeah.
Just X-Men 97.
Yeah. That would have been probably odd.
Yeah, maybe a little.
But I would have been mad.
Yeah.
So great character.
Right.
Well, she was in What If, so.
Oh, she wasn't What If.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
we can get her in 97.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, put her in everything.
Yeah.
So we're at 16 now. So we have number 20, Doctor Strange, number 19, Thor, number 18, Multiverse of Madness, number 17, Far From Home. We're at number 16 now.
Yes.
I'm not letting you put Civil War this far. I will die on this hill. So our options here. I have Homecoming at 18.
Okay.
I have Homecoming and Guardians at actually yeah. So my 18, 17, 16. I have Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy, 1, and then Deadpool and Wolverine. To me, Homecoming is honestly a Vulture movie. Like, without Vulture, to me, Homecoming is just not that good. Like, I like Spider-Man more in Civil War than I do in Homecoming.
Really?
Yeah. And I actually like Far From Home more than I like Homecoming.
Really?
But, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Far From Home. I have Far From Home at I had it at 14. Yeah. So I'm gonna go for Homecoming here. Also, they really wanted to make this a like Iron Man protege movie, to the point that, you know, there's the Tony Stark is on the screen for like 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have the one scene where like it's just the suit the whole time and he wasn't actually there. I get it. Like, I like the whole aspect of, like, you know, he's got the new suit and like he keeps messing up. Like, I like them telling that story where it's like, oh, he's trying to branch out on his own. And once again, we're in the top 16 here. I don't hate or even dislike any of these movies.
Yeah.
But to me, if I'm going to sit down and watch one of these, I would sit down and watch Deadpool, Wolverine, Guardians of the Galaxy, or Civil War before I would watch Homecoming.
Okay. And if I slid you a $5 bill, would you let Civil War stay?
Nah, bro.
Okay.
Nah, Civil War. First off, okay. You're talking about a Russo's entry.
Yes.
You're talking about putting a Russo entry. I know that I know your qualms about Civil War. They are well documented.
Right.
I get that Zemo. I get that his plan is like convoluted as fuck, and things had to work out really well for him. Like, this motherfucker was rolling 19s and up the whole time, right? Because, you know, there's a point in time where he's trapped in a room early on in the movie with Bucky, Falcon, and Captain America. And all that has to happen is Steve Rogers throws that shield at him one time.
Yeah.
Like, instead of him being like, Bucky, he goes, throw the shield at this fucking guy, and then goes to Bucky. The rest of the movie, that's roll credits. Like, you know, I understand. Like, this motherfucker had the most suicidal plan ever.
Yeah. So I am partially fucking with you because I had Homecoming right next to Civil War.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and put Homecoming there.
Okay. Man, fuck. Like, I get it, but the entirety of that airport scene is just.
Oh, it's money.
I mean, like, bring some Vaseline with you because, like, if you're a superhero fan, I mean, that whole scene is it goes on forever too. Like, they don't shortchange you or anything, and like that's one of the best scenes in the MCU, and it's like a solid like 12 minutes of just
and you get to see they're not just fighting, but they're fighting in their style, right? They get to do the things that they would do, and everybody has their goals and their own focuses. Like, Black Panther is there, but he's not really on anyone's team. He has his own agenda, you know?
Yeah, and everybody, like, everything that they do makes sense, and everybody's, like, powers line up well, and, like, everybody kind of has a time to shine in that fight, which was probably the only reason that anybody had any faith that Infinity War was going to work with that massive roster, because the Russos literally had a fight here with fucking 12 very different heroes in it, so like nobody can do anything villainous in the fight, you know, straight up. But and then all their like wildly varied power sets. Like you have Black Widow and Hawkeye fighting, And then over here you have Captain America fighting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have the Winter Soldier, you know, in here fighting it. You have, I mean, these are the best Ant-Man scenes.
Oh, yeah. We get to see him go giant for is this the first time? Or has Ant-Man and Wasp already come out?
I want to say Ant-Man and Wasp had already come out. But doesn't he only do it really briefly in that?
Yeah, he passes out.
Yeah, because he actually says, like, I might pass out or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And if I tear myself in half, like, he's going to tear himself in half? Yeah. All the dialogue during this fight is really good.
Oh, yeah.
The banter between Falcon and Bucky is the best in this movie. Like,
oh, it's great. Yeah.
It's really good. I'll also say that the way that they managed to still keep Cap as a focus in this movie, I really love it. I mean, even though it really was heavily in Avengers 2.5, they also managed to get the fucking amazing Captain America quote in there, the like plant yourself like a tree or whatever. The know you move that's been often quoted. Yeah. They managed to get that in there. All of that. I mean, there's so many moments in this movie that are incredible that I'm willing to give it a pass on Zemo. And plus, you know, we eventually like Zemo's great in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We got the dance.
Yeah. But if it was just the Zemo thing, then it would rank higher for me for sure. But it's not just that. It's the fact that they introduced the idea of the Superhero Registration Act, and then they abandoned it before the movie's even over.
Well, technically, the Sokovia Accords did have some kind of wide-ranging effects, because like Jessica Jones season 3 is like really heavily, like that's a major part of that. He does come up in Infinity War. But I agree, like the whole thing with, you know, by Infinity War, they've completely abandoned it. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
So we're 15 through 11 now, so.
Yep.
All right, let me hit you with this.
Yep.
My next 5 are Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Deadpool and Wolverine, Avengers Age of Ultron, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and X-Men 97.
We have some in common here, actually.
Okay, good.
Let's see.
We have, I hope we don't get this like just I don't have any of those. I mean, we really haven't had that happen.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet.
I don't think there's room for it to happen.
Right. Let's see. I'll go ahead and tell you where we disagree here, and that's actually, depending on how my math is adding up here, it might be a couple of them. So obviously for me, Civil War is still hanging out in the wing.
Yeah, we got to address Civil War.
Yeah.
I will commit to putting it in this bracket.
Okay. You said Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Yep, I have that here. Guardians 1. I have that here. I have Iron Man 1 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not mad at that.
And then the next one up would be Black Panther.
I actually have Black Panther at 10, and I have Iron Man at 9, so we were pretty close, you know.
Yeah.
So the 3 we have in common. So you have Civil. I don't have Civil War was higher for me.
Yeah.
But we have Age of Ultron, Guardians 1.
Yep.
Is Age of Ultron and Guardians 1 the only ones we had in common on this?
Yeah.
So I got Guardians 1 at 17. I tell you what, if we could put Guardians 1 at 15, I will let Civil War go at 14.
Okay. I will sign that treaty.
I will sign the treaty. No, let him finish.
Yeah, man. Guardians 1. I mean,
James Gunn, man. I mean, I really had no idea who this dude was. You know, he did that Scooby Doo movie, the
live action one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I found that out the other day because I was actually looking into the box office when we were having that discussion about the budget cuts and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, David Zaslav better give this man whatever he needs.
Right.
Because he is a proven commodity at the box office, even for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, he's done it before.
So GOTG Volume 1, Marvel. This is like the point in time where like everyone thought Marvel was unstoppable.
Yeah, we're into Phase 2 at this point. This is it came out the same year as Winter Soldier. I don't remember which one came first.
Winter Soldier, because it came out in April.
Okay, yeah.
And I think this was a summer movie, like a July.
Yeah, maybe? This was just a couple months later. Yeah, you're right.
This was a banger year for the MCU.
It was.
Because Winter Soldier was amazing. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, and here's a movie about a random dude from Earth, a fucking raccoon, a tree, a space assassin. And we were all just like, fuck yeah. And me and you, I remember talking to you about this. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And you were like, man, I don't know why they're even making this movie. Like, and then like the fact that it made $1 billion and was so popular, you know?
Yeah, I mean, who would have thunk? You know,
this is at that time where like Marvel could at least get you in the door for everything.
Yeah. I really liked the comic run that came out like around the 2006 era. That was great.
Yeah.
And I referenced that because that's the lineup that they use, you know, for the movies. And but man, yeah, I just had no idea that this movie was going to be this good. And also I think that only James Gunn could have pulled this off.
Yeah.
No one else could have. And also, it's movies like this, like Guardians 1, that makes you grateful that Disney didn't have the rights to all their characters then. You know? Because if they had the rights to the X-Men and Spider-Man, yeah, come on.
Yeah, no, like, this would have been, you know, a freaking X-Force movie or some shit.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, honestly, a James Gunn X-Force movie sounds badass.
After seeing Guardians 3 and the Suicide Squad, that shit would be...
Yeah.
That shit would hit.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, I really want that now. Right. Fuck, we're never going to get that.
Yeah. And we're going to talk more about Guardians Volume 1 in a couple months here.
Yes, we are. We're going to do a 10th anniversary rewatch, a re-review of that.
Yes.
So we have it in common. Age of Ultron at 13. Is that?
Oh yeah.
I actually have it at 13.
See, I had them switched. I had Age of Ultron at 14. Guardians 1 at 13.
We've talked at length about Age of Ultron over the years, but I mean, let's be honest. It should have been 2 movies.
Yeah,
because it's damn near trying to be 3 movies.
They fit so much in that runtime. It's amazing that it's as good as it is.
I mean, and here's the thing: like, what's important to remember is, at this point, we are into the like, we love this movie, but you know, that's this section.
Yeah, that's this section. Now. Yeah.
I will sit there and I'll watch Age of Ultron like anytime. Like I watched it the other day. You know, I was like, nah, you know, I'm just, you know. I'm gonna be sitting in bed playing on my phone, but I just want to put something on. All right, well, Age of Ultron, and I still love the movie. I loved it in the theater the night it came out. It's honestly like was a fanboy dream for us because Avengers 1, a lot of it is them building the team.
Yeah.
In this one, man, we just come right out the gate with the fucking Avengers Tower scene, which is one of the best moments.
Come on, yeah. That I mean, they're not even before they're fighting anything. Like just them hanging out. The tower is phenomenal.
I love all of that. That's probably the best part of the movie to me.
Might be, yeah.
Because we, you know, the interconnectivity here. This is that part, and the opening fight scene, the opening action scene at Strucker's lab is really good too.
Oh yeah.
We go into the Avengers kicking ass. We go up to Avengers Tower for the after party. We get, you know, fuck, here's Rhodey, and he's telling this story to the Avengers,
Right.
and they're like,
it doesn't hit.
it
with
doesn't
them.
hit, and
but
the civilians, they're like, oh, that's so
Yeah.
great. And he's like, yeah, like we get, oh, Rhodey's here. Oh, well, Falcon is here as well, and
Right.
he's giving us an update on his, him trying to track down Winter Soldier,
Right.
and like we just get all these things that are coming together here in this movie at the beginning, where we're getting all these updates on the individual plot lines, and we're just getting to see them be them.
Right.
And all the writing here is tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck Joss Whedon, but he made two damn good Avengers movies.
He did. Can't take that away from him.
And Ultron himself was so good too.
Oh yeah, James Spader, he killed that.
The No Strings on Me
Yeah.
stuff was tremendous. The rights just happened to fall perfectly for that.
But wasn't that still? Is Pinocchio? He's not Disney.
Yeah, he is. I'm just saying it worked out that they had.
Oh, that they had the rights. Yeah.
And then it goes off the rails. Thor's plot line.
Yeah, that gets kind of weird, right? With the visions that he's having.
And Joss Whedon told me in person at Comic-Con, it wasn't just me, there was like 5,000 people there, but that there is like an extended cut of this that's got like 45 more minutes. And he just didn't want to do it. Like, he didn't want to release a director's cut or whatever for it. And I'm just like, this should have been Age of Ultron Part 1 and 2.
It should have been. And I realized that would mean them pushing back the docket for, their next several movies. But ultimately, it would have been worth it.
Yeah, which just would have been a year. As a matter of fact, it would have worked out super well for them because when the pandemic hit, they could have released Endgame because they already had filmed it.
Yeah. Would they, though? I think they'd be afraid of people not going to theaters.
Yeah, that's true. They would have... that actually probably would have fucked us, right? Because it would have come out in May of 2020. Everything would have been shut down. We would have had to wait like another year.
Oh, it would have been so bad.
Find out what happened. Because that was a long year between Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, yeah. And like, man, in the future, kids won't know that wait we had to do.
No, they'll never understand. It was a time unlike any other in movie history, I think. Maybe I gotta say, back in the day though, the wait between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi was probably similarly awful.
Yeah,
and they had to wait like 2.5 years, something like that.
Yeah,
so that shit probably sucked, man.
Right, because back then, they made the movie and then, all right, now let's do the third one.
Yeah. And like Darth Vader just like won everything at the end of that movie.
Right,
like they're like, wait,
yeah,
and then they just left him at that.
Right.
Oh
shit.
Okay, so that's 13. All right, what do you have here for?
All right, let's see.
You said you had Black Panther and Iron Man 1?
Yep, Iron Man 1, Black Panther. Those those are the next two on my list.
Okay. Did I not? Okay, yeah. So spoilers. I had Civil War at 8.
Oh shit!
I know. I was like, why do I have 13 movies left? But then I was like, oh, I have one way up here at the top that I need to scratch. Okay, so I am going to say for 11 and 12, I would be fine with putting Iron Man in one of these slots, but I think Deadpool and Wolverine should go in one of them as well. Because I really like Deadpool and Wolverine. I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
Once again, we're in the era of the list where it's like, we love all this shit.
Right.
But to me, Deadpool and Wolverine, as we've said, when it comes to the MCU, we are conditioned to judge it as a movie itself and then also as part of the greater MCU. I think as part of the greater MCU, I'm not saying the movie needed to be that. It didn't. That's why I reviewed it so highly. Just the other week. And you guys can go listen to that. Shameless plug. But I think here, in terms of the MCU, for me to rate it above anything else on my list is dishonest. I think it's a great movie. I just think that it is incredibly meta. And I mean, it's fine, you know.
Right.
I enjoy it. But like, let's just say that I was 18 years old and you put this movie in front of me. I am not going to know who half of those people are. And I feel like everything that I have ranked above it on this list you could just watch without knowing all these little meta Fox things, and it would still be just as good. But with this particular movie, I feel like the very meta nature of it, not to mention fucking Channing Tatum. I mean, you at least have to have watched at a bare minimum Logan. Mm-hmm. Or you ain't gonna. This movie is gonna confuse the ever loving shit out of you. Yeah. I actually watched it the second time with someone who hasn't seen Logan. I didn't find that out till like we had like sat down in the theater, and I was like, "Well, you aren't about to know anything about some of this shit." Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I know it's fresh, but I can't see putting it at top 10.
All right, so I'll tell you, I had it at number 9.
Okay.
So it did just barely squeak into my top 10. I will acquiesce to your request, but I can't put it. It has to be at 11.
Yeah. So Iron Man at 12 and Deadpool Wolverine at.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
I can live with that one.
Okay.
Yo.
Yeah.
I think my I can't really say my issues because again I love Deadpool and Wolverine, but I guess my concerns with the movie were slightly different from yours. Like the reason why it didn't rank even higher for me is just because again, like the movie is big on heart but it is thin on plot. You know,
the plot is
yeah.
If it weren't a Deadpool movie, we would not like. If the movie weren't as fun, and if it weren't a Deadpool movie, we would have massacred it in our review. But as we said, rule of fucking cool and character integrity.
Yeah,
they carry the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it's the reason why those rules are so high. Yeah,
but and it gets a whole number of point bump for the Cavalrine.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Iron Man 1. I mean, that being number 12. I absolutely love Iron Man 1.
Oh yeah,
it's so good, and it's one of those movies that to me it still holds up. Like, there's a reason why it's the blueprint for like all the other MCU origin movies.
Yeah, I mean, it worked like the first 11 times they did it. It's so good. The story is good. It's fresh. The villain is good. We get introduced to S.H.I.E.L.D. and
most people didn't even know it.
Right? You know? Yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow nails it.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, we get to see the redemption arc for Tony as a character. You know.
Yeah.
And also, quick sidebar here. You know, we're doing great on time, so I'm gonna do a quick sidebar here. Something that just really grinds my gears. There's always a subset of people who shit on Batman as a character, and they do so ignorantly because they're not really familiar with what Batman is all about.
Right.
And they say dumb shit like he just used all his money and fixed all the problems of Gotham. I don't have time. I don't have time to talk about why that's fucking dumb.
Right.
But I've always wondered, how come those same people love Tony Stark, who was a literal warmonger?
Yeah. It is weird, right?
Yeah.
It comes down to just blatant fucking homerism, fanboyism.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured, but that's just always been so fucking weird to me.
Because it's like, I mean, Tony Stark could have used his money to fix a bunch of fucking problems too.
Yeah.
Instead of going to see a therapist, he fucking challenged a Mandarin to blow up his house. And then act shocked as fuck when he did it.
these things happen.
And let's not forget that in the MCU, the whole reason the Mandarin is pissed at him anyway is because Tony Stark's a fucking dick. He left this motherfucker on the roof in the cold.
The cold.
I'd have been mad too.
Yeah, I'd have been a little upset, a little peeved. Oh shit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We're in the top 10 though.
We're in the top 10, man. We're in the end game now.
We are in the end game now. Ooh. It's your go. You got the next 5.
Man. I mean, yeah, we're just in the territory of like bangers.
Yeah, I mean, bangers only.
Right.
From here.
Okay. I have at my number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Ooh, you ranked that higher than I did, and I love that shit. I got the T-shirt.
Oh yeah, what'd you rank it at?
I had a 12.
Okay. We already said Deadpool Wolverine. That was my number 9. So in place of it would be X-Men 97.
I had it at 11. Okay, so
okay. Then I had Daredevil.
Okay.
No Way Home.
Okay.
And one more, right?
Yeah.
And then, number 6 would be Guardians Volume 3.
So, interestingly enough, was Black Panther in your last set?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so bump up. Take Guardians out. I didn't say that at all then.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I had Black Panther at 10, so...
Yeah, so my list would be Black Panther, Guardians Holiday Special, X-Men 97, Daredevil, No Way Home.
So Guardians 3 is bumped up to the next. Mm-hmm. Okay, so do we want to put Black Panther at 10 then?
Yeah, I think that checks. Either that or Guardians, because you had Holiday Special at 12.
Yeah, I'm fine with Black Panther at 10.
Okay.
And then we can go to Holiday Special.
All right.
Yeah, man. I mean, Ryan Coogler nailed it with this.
Oh, yeah.
Chadwick was the perfect casting.
Right.
May he rest in peace. That honestly, that is the biggest blow to the MCU ever.
Right, Black Panther T-shirt.
From the aspect of, like, they had no control over that shit.
Yeah.
You know? And then for us to find out afterwards, like, that he literally was, like, fighting this shit the entire time.
Like, he was training and doing the choreography and also taking chemo, you know?
I mean, that is insane. And, like, nobody even knew he was sick.
No.
And, like, that's just so crazy, man. You know, just not only the character, but, like, him as an actor, like, Chadwick Boseman is one of the greats to ever do it.
He was phenomenal. I mean, Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, like, he just killed it in all of those.
And then Michael B. Jordan across from him in this movie, you know, and like and his cameo in the second movie lifted it hard. That's such a great scene. Might be the best scene in the whole movie. It's definitely the best scene that don't have Angela Bassett in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what can we say about Black Panther that hasn't already been said? This movie made so much money.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I'm going to shit on Regal Cinemas here for a minute. Not a sponsor, clearly. But I'll never forget. I went to the theater we normally go to.
Right.
Opening night. Might have been with you guys. I don't recall.
Probably.
I mean, you guys would have been there, whether we arranged to go together or not. We would have all been at the same theater. And, you know, it was packed. Mm-hmm. And I remember it being fantastic. And then I went with the fam Friday night. There was the next night. And we couldn't even get tickets at the GTX. We had to go to the Regal. We had to sum it up at the Regal. And I remember going there, and they had one motherfucking person working behind the counter.
Oh, no.
There was like 200 people in the lobby.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was insane, man. I was like, how did you guys not see this?
Right.
But this was an event. It was tremendous. I really loved this and just kind of Just the cultural significance of it, everything about it, man. I really enjoyed this movie.
And you talk about connective tissue. Was this the last stop before Infinity War?
Yes. Yeah, because this really introed Wakanda.
Yeah.
And they also, Civil War
was before this.
Yeah, Civil War technically was the intro. Yeah, it let Civil War's end credit scene Sting. It led into this because they zoomed out to show the big Panther.
Yep.
And they took Bucky there to fix him, and then technically Bucky is actually there through all the events of
technically,
this.
Yeah, he's just on LSD, the whole time with one arm.
Yeah, and because also we had Ross was introduced in Civil War. And then we had him here as well, and he does great in this as well.
Yeah.
I really love how they flipped, because like so many movies have the one black character. Mm-hmm. I love how they flipped that with him.
Right.
It was just so well done.
It was, man.
Everything about this movie, other than the, if there's anything we want to shit on in this movie, it's the fucking CG.
The CG
fight scene at the end.
The third act.
And
woof.
If there's any time that you ever wanted to see them just fight, I mean, obviously, the fight in the middle of the movie where they don't have their powers is actually way better than the fight at the end.
Yep.
The only thing I like about the fight at the end was kind of they had done the thing where the train deactivates the vibranium or whatever.
Yeah.
That aspect of it, that part of the fight was really cool. But yeah, I mean, that fight scene between those two characters is just like, it looks like a video game intro.
It does, yeah. It really does.
But everything else in this movie spun out so many interesting characters. I mean, the arc with M'Baku is so good.
M'Baku,
all of it.
Okoye.
Okoye's been in like everything now.
Oh, yeah. Interestingly enough, what's his name? Wakambi, he never came back. That was her husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Border Tribe guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played by Daniel... what's his name? Lakuya? He was in Get Out.
He got mega famous.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, true.
Man, the payday for this cast had to be crazy, right? Like,
they had to, man. Yeah.
Right. They were just...
And again, to mention Angela Bassett,
Yeah. And then we got the Guardians holiday special at 9.
Yeah, I mean, this is just fantastic. Like, you have to watch this every Christmas year, every holiday year.
It has become, in my household... and actually, I watch this twice every year now because my mom also loves this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I end up watching it with the family, and then I end up watching it with my mom at her house usually every year now at Christmas. The Guardians Holiday Special was like one of those things where like this came at a time where our faith in the MCU has never been any lower.
Yeah.
We had just gotten hit with like a barrage of bullshit.
I mean, yeah. We were getting hammered, just haymakered.
Yeah.
Bam, Eternals. Bam, Black Widow. Bam.
Quantumania, right?
Had it come out?
I think Quantumania was already out.
Oh, well then, yeah. If we had Quantumania, then we also had Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. We had just
bam, bam, bam,
yeah. It was we were getting gang banged by mediocrity or worse, and then out of nowhere, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special came in to save the day. It's a perfect companion to Guardians 3, but also its own story.
Yes, and
it's such a great Christmas story. It's so well done. Just absolutely love this to the point this in the top 10, man. So,
it's tremendous. And if for whatever reason you guys haven't seen it yet, fuck it, watch it now.
Watch it right now. It doesn't have to be Christmas.
Yeah,
watch it now and then watch it again.
Right,
when Christmas comes around. All right, we in the top 8, man. I think you had No Way Home in this bracket, and you had X-Men and Daredevil.
Yep.
My vote's for X-Men 97 at number 8.
That's where I have it at number 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
We actually reviewed this. So
we did. Yeah, we reviewed that episode. Yeah. So if you want an in-depth analysis, we highly recommend you guys go back and check that out.
X-Men 97. We actually ate crow on the review for this.
Yep.
We've been waiting for years to eat some crow. It never happened until now.
Yeah.
But we have like a whole episode previewing X-Men 97 where we talked about how fucking awful it was going to be.
Yeah, this shit's going to be dog shit. They don't feel comfortable showing anything in the trailer.
They fired the showrunner.
Yeah, fired the showrunner. Like it's a sequel to a show that came out almost fucking 25 years ago. All the ingredients were there for this to be awful.
And then fucking Cyclops came out and was like, read him the forecast. And we were like, what?
Oh, shit.
Man, and I'm a Cyclops hater, you know? I fucking love this show.
I'm aware you are.
I love him in it. I love everything about this show. I'll be honest, man. So the X-Men 97 is the one we forgot, crazy enough. And I'll tell you guys right now, we joked about it, but like, if either one of us had come in here with this as number one, no one would have been like super mad.
Yeah, so like remember how like when we did the bottom 5, I was like, yeah, you want to put, you know, I don't care.
Yeah, we had Eternals at 46, okay? Yeah. There are 7 things that are behind Eternals. If anybody wanted to put Eternals at the bottom, no one would have been like, nah, dog, Eternals deserves justice. You know, and it's the same thing here with 97. Is like I could hear an argument for why it could be number one. I think the only reason it's probably not higher is because there's that weird ass episode they split in half.
Yeah,
the Motendo Jubilee episode, and then they took the whole thing where Storm fights the weird bird creature. What the fuck is that thing?
The demon bird.
Yeah, so that should have been one episode, but they split that in half, and then they put it in 2 other episodes.
Yeah.
And if they maybe hadn't done that, you know,
right?
I think it actually probably had to be top 5. But man, if it was just that one episode where they go to Genosha, if it was just the Genosha episode, it should be in top 3 probably, because This whole thing, man, is really good. It is one of the best X-Men stories, and I could go on and on.
Bastion was an incredible villain. They left us with like this amazing cliffhanger, and you just can't wait to see where things go.
Magneto.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah, the Magneto and Charles was out in space getting some head from his from Lilandra.
I don't know, man. If I could get some exotic alien head, I might be like.
And there's like, shit, my kids are dying.
Yeah,
take me home.
Yeah, take me home, man. Like, actually, let me just get one more in. And then,
all right, give me one more on the way back.
Yeah. Some space roadhead. I have Daredevil at 7.
I had Daredevil at 7.
Okay. All right. Well, that's settled. That's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Whoo, man.
And I'll be honest. Had season 2 had it even just been paced better, this would probably be top 5 for me.
Yeah.
It
suffers from the same thing as Jessica Jones. Like, if you take out that second season, it's like.
And the crazy thing is, there are some amazing moments in that second season. Man, there are some moments, but the thing surrounding the moments is really what drags it down.
The fight with Nobu.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Fucking hell. They kicked the season off with a Punisher and Daredevil fight.
They did. Honestly, season 2 kind of has like 2 arcs,
It does.
And one of them is tremendous.
The other one
is the hand. I swear to God, man, like there's so many like Daredevil fights, ninjas moments in that it just becomes interchangeable at some point. You're just you're like, oh, okay, well, all right, here Daredevil's going into this warehouse. Oh, but he's gonna fight 34 ninjas. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. Well, now he's gonna have a conversation with Fisk. Okay. Fisk is an asshole. Daredevil goes outside. Oh, and there's ninjas. Like, there's just it. I want to know the screen time on like how much time he spends fighting nameless ninjas in season 2, and it's a lot, man.
They have names. If you look in the credits, that's Ninja Bob. That's Ninja Ted.
Ninja 1, Ninja 2. Yeah, there's a lot of it, man. And like season 2 is easily the low point of this show.
Agreed.
1 is tremendous, and 3 is right there with it.
Yeah. 1 and 3 are just, it's what you want from this kind of superhero TV show.
Yeah, I mean it is the highest ranking TV show on this list by if X-Men 97 wasn't here, it would be by a considerable margin.
Yeah, you're fucking right.
Because the last TV show that we hit was WandaVision Hawkeye back at 21.
Yeah, Jesus.
So
yeah, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, there's your legacy, Disney Plus.
Right. No pressure.
X-Men 97 is here to save you. So we got Daredevil at number 7.
Yep.
Also, Charlie Cox just so perfectly cast.
Well, and the same thing with Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes. Yeah, I can't forget about that. And I mean, Punisher as well. I mean,
yeah. Fucking
John Bernthal. John Bernthal. Yeah. The other day, I was talking about Deadpool and Wolverine with somebody. I think it was the homie Oz. Mm-hmm. And, Deadpool makes that comment about that it was a Punisher or whatever, and he was like, the good one, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I wonder who he was talking about. I was like, well, there's only one there's only the one. Right. Like, you can like the other ones, but John Bernthal is it.
He's, with all due respect to the other people that played Punisher, Ray Stevenson, Tom Jane, Dolph Lundgren.
I didn't mind Thomas Jane at all.
No, me either. Yeah. But I thought that they all did a good interpretation of the Punisher, but it's clear who's the best.
The guy is John Bernthal.
John Bernthal, and Dolph Lundgren.
It's like we can sit here and talk about different people playing Batman, but like Christian Bale is clearly the guy.
That's Batman.
Yeah, that is Batman. That's not to say that all the other interpretations are bad.
Right.
It's just that's the guy. I think we got Guardians Volume 3 at number 6. I had it at 6. You had it at 5.
I had it at 5. Yep.
What did you have
at 6? I had No Way Home at 6.
I'm going to use your logic on you here, and I'm going to say that Guardians should be 6 because No Way Home has a better villain. Because Green fucking Goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong, and
not that the villain's bad. But you can't fuck with Green Goblin in
right. Yeah, that is very sound logic. It's my logic.
It is, yeah. I was like, well, I got this one.
Yeah, I guess the reason why I had Guardians ranked higher, clearly I love No Way Home. It's my top fucking 6, but. The first act, here we go again. The first act felt way too much like Far From Home, and I was like, "Are we really gonna when are we gonna pick things up here?" And then he beats Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange's own dimension
using math.
Yeah, I was like,
which was a very Peter Parker thing to do.
It was a very Peter Parker thing to do. I guess no one told Doctor Strange that you own all the rules here.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just change them.
Yeah. Like the laws of physics don't have to apply, Remember, like in your first movie when the walls and shit were bending?
Yeah, you can just turn that shit off whenever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works in the context of the movie. You just have to not think too much about it.
You can't think about it, and you have to understand that Doctor Strange cannot be there, otherwise he stops Peter from doing the dumb shit.
You're right. Yeah, he just vaporizes most of these people.
Right.
Green Goblin can't be blowing up houses and beating the shit out of Spider-Man if Doctor Strange is in town.
Right. Yeah. That's gonna be an issue. Oh man, but putting Guardians at number 6, I'm not mad at that at all. Guardians Volume 3, I mean, my goodness, it's so fantastic.
The first fuck we got in the MCU.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that scene too.
And then we got 116 more.
I think it was 118.
118? Yeah. I think the 118 is the total.
No, 119.
Is it 119? Okay, yeah. So
118 fucks in Deadpool and Wolverine. I had no idea it was that many.
It's a lot, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. They say fuck a lot.
Yeah.
But it's so well used in this movie when he says it.
Yeah. Just open the fucking door.
The moment that happens is so funny.
Right.
Like, I don't think there's a movie on this list that nails action, humor, and heart the way that Guardians 3 does. I mean,
it's got all of that in spades.
It really does.
And again, I had high hopes for this movie, not because of Guardians 2, but because of the Suicide Squad.
Right. And it was James Gunn's swan song.
Yeah, and it was his swan song. Yeah. So I had an idea that this was going to be a pretty good movie. I didn't know it was going to be this good.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah. Shout out to Kaiju Groot.
Kaiju Groot's the shit. Kaiju Groot might be the only reason I actually want another Guardians anytime soon.
Right.
My God, we're in the top 5.
Man.
The top 5. All right. We kind of already, they're angling towards No Way Home being in number 5. Right. So, and we just talked about it. So let's just cut the bullshit, and we'll go ahead and put No Way Home at number 5.
It's a sidebar. I love how like the internet wrestling fans also noticed that apparently Norman Osborn is a huge fan.
He powerbombed the dog shit out of.
And then that pop-up spine buster he hit.
Yeah.
The guy, damn.
Yeah, I was like, all these damn wrestling moves.
Right.
That fight is incredible.
It is.
Like, it's so good, and that movie's just so well done.
Yeah. And then just to think that like that fight ends with Aunt May dying. You know?
The impact of all of that stuff was tremendous. Like, just the way that they made Green Goblin like center stage, but also like huge redemption arc for Electro. Mm-hmm. And like they did really well with all the villains.
Yeah,
you know. So
at least the ones that were there physically.
Yeah. Otto Hightower as the lizard. Not so much, but
right.
And then Sandman was just kind of there.
Yeah, Thomas Haddon Church, he was busy.
But this is my bracket here. So I'm gonna give you these 4 and up in the order I have them. I'm very interested to see what you what our orders look like. So coming in at number 4, I have Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Coming in at number 3, I have The Avengers.
All right.
Coming in at number 2, I have Infinity War, and coming in at number 1, I have Endgame.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, I know we have to have them in common.
Yeah.
Because these are the only 5 movies left.
All right. So, like you said, it's already done deal with No Way Home being number 5.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Avengers 1.
Okay.
My number 3 is Avengers Endgame. My number 2 is Captain America: Winter Soldier. My number 1 is Infinity War.
All right. I can see a way out of this for us.
All right.
I am fine with Avengers at 4.
Okay.
If we can Winter Soldier at 3.
I can do that.
Because while I like the first Avengers movie more, I think standalone Winter Soldier gets the edge.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier's so good.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, we gush about this movie all the time.
Yeah, we just did.
We just reviewed it. So we're going to go the Avengers at 4.
Yep.
You know, as we talked about, this movie was destined to fail. Mm-hmm. On paper, it should have failed. But if you look at it, not only... The interesting thing about it is The Avengers is a sequel to all the movies in the MCU before it.
Yep.
And it's also the first movie in a franchise.
Yeah.
So it has to wear a lot of hats. And they damn near pulled it off perfectly. It's hard to imagine a better superhero team origin movie than this.
I don't think there is, right?
Because no, there isn't. I mean, it's definitely not the fucking Justice League.
Because all the legwork's been done. And so you can spend that time building the story, So with most team-up movies like this, you have to establish who each of the characters are. In this movie, in Avengers 1, they've already done that in their individual movies.
Right.
So you can skip that part and get right to how to get them together.
Right.
And that just helps this movie so much more, because if you have to establish who everyone is in this movie. This movie might be top 20, maybe.
Yeah.
You
but,
know?
like, the way that they paired everybody up where they sent Black Widow to get Hulk. Mm-hmm. They sent Coulson to get Iron Man. They sent Nick Fury went to go get Cap.
Why would you send Black Widow to go get the Hulk?
Well, I mean, I guess they knew she was going to be discreet, you know?
Yeah.
And also, she probably used them titties to convince him.
That's true.
Calm him right on down. As it turned out, that was the way they did it after that.
Oh, yeah. This was just an incredible movie, though. And, like, seeing them all kind of come together for the first time ever, this was a huge deal. And I don't know what Kevin Feige said about this, but I got to know, like, what the talks were when they saw how well this movie was doing as it came out. Because there's no way they expected this movie to do $1 billion. Yeah,
they all came together and we all came together.
I think we're talking about some different things.
Not to mention the Thanos.
Oh, yeah.
Sting at the end.
Right.
Most people that didn't read the comics didn't know who the fuck Thanos was. It's not like he was a major player in any of the animated shit.
And you're right. And can we be honest about something? Like, now that I think about that post-credit scene with Thanos, it's funny how they pivoted from Lady Death, because that's what gets Thanos to turn and smile, to fight the Avengers would be to court death. And he's like, say what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very clear that they originally had the idea to go that route, but it was just subtle enough that they left themselves plenty of room where it's fine. Yeah. And I think the way they ultimately did it worked out.
Agreed.
So Avengers number 4, and then we have, interestingly enough, and this is why they, what was it, $80 million is what they're getting paid?
Oh, the Russos?
Yeah. Because our 1, 2, and 3 are all Russos. All Russos. Oops, all Russos. We have coming in at number 3, Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yes. Oh my goodness! I mean, like this movie. What can we say about Winter Soldier that we haven't said a bajillion times?
And we just did a whole review of it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it is the best standalone entry in the MCU. It is the best part 2. Like, nobody has got a part 2. Like, out of everybody who's got a part 2, Thor, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, nobody has a part 2 that is this good.
Right.
To the point that it's in the top 5. Yeah. It's the only solo movie in the top 5.
Yeah, that speaks volumes about how good it is.
Because I don't consider No Way Home a solo movie. It's got 3 motherfucking Spider-Man.
That is true.
It's like 30 villains.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like technically, who's in No Way Home? You could just say Spider-Man. Like, okay.
I mean, but Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ned as whatever the fuck. He does magic.
He does
in the movie. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Then there were 2.
And then there were 2. I knew that we would butt heads on this. The ultimate question is the Thanos hero's journey or the payoff the better thing? Now, really, the ultimate answer is you should just watch both of them.
Right.
Like, because I will say this. If you sit down and watch Infinity War and Endgame end to end, it's better than every superhero thing ever made to live action.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about saying that. It acts as a sequel to like 20-something movies. The roster is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it pulls it all off. The only thing that kind of gets messed up would be the Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk kind of gets shit all over, especially in Endgame.
I was gonna say, and it's even hard to use that as like a negative for one, because the Hulk is kind of fucked over in both.
Yeah. Right.
You know? I mean, like, so you could go with the idea of, okay, well, yeah, the Hulk got his ass beat in this one, but in the next one, that's when he's going to get his comeuppance. But, in retrospect, knowing what happened,
he never really got that.
No.
It's kind of like how, Force Awakens wasn't that bad. On its own, it was just a nostalgia trip.
Right.
But then when you see what it all leads up to, it just retroactively makes it a way worse. It takes it from meh to I fucking hate this.
Yeah, because you know what the journey takes you.
Yeah. And I mean, they had 40 fucking characters to wrestle with, and they only messed up one of them.
Yeah.
So and he's not irrevocably ruined or anything, but his arc in these movies, his resolution or whatever is basically off screen, and then the Hulk never really gets his comeuppance in the second movie. He doesn't have I guess maybe they were thinking that him being the one to bring everything back
is kind of his thing.
Is his thing, and it is a great moment, and I'm glad they gave it to him. It just doesn't ever... It doesn't feel like a him moment because of the massive effort from all the other heroes to make it happen.
Right.
It feels like a big win for the team. It's a great moment in the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever thought, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, Bruce Banner finally got his shit in.
Yeah. And also when you consider how many people's favorite character has always been the Hulk. Yeah. I really feel bad for them because you never get to see... You basically see the Hulk get his ass beat by Thanos at the beginning of Infinity War, and he never comes back.
And he resolves the whole thing off screen. Yeah. You just... In Endgame, it's just, oh, well, here he is, you know. And he also had a scene cut from the movie. They put it in a weird extended cut that they put out where he's he was rescuing some people or whatever. You remember that? There's a cut of the movie that's 3 minutes longer. And it has.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah, they did it when they re-released Endgame in theaters, and there's a scene where the Hulk is rescuing Smart Hulk is rescuing some people from a fire or something. And it doesn't help the movie any, but it was just we had this on the cutting room floor.
Gotcha.
Go pay to see the movie again so we can make more money. Yeah. But it's hard to I think at minimum, what they could have given us was maybe have him beat the shit out of who's the big dude in the Dark Order?
Yeah, Obsidian Cole.
Obsidian Cole, yeah. They could have given us a short scene of that end battle where he just hulks the fuck out and just beats the dog shit out of Obsidian Cole.
Yeah.
And that would have felt good,
I mean, for me, that would have worked because this is always should work. The shit with Captain Marvel, you take her out of it, right?
Yeah. You take her out of it.
Yeah. She's out of the movie now. And
no, I understand that makes the movie better. I don't know what it does for the Hulk.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I guess we could have. They could have done the whole thing where the ship is raining down fire and everything, and then the ship just stops responding, and then you just see Hulk bust out of the window or whatever.
So I think, but in all seriousness, what I would have liked is when they do a recreation of the scene from Secret Wars where he's holding up all the debris and he's protecting everyone else. When they go back to the fight with Cap, Thor, and Tony fighting Thanos, I think I would have had it where after Bruce exerts himself and is able to protect everyone else, that reverts him back to the more primal Hulk that we know, and then we get to see him fight Thanos one more time. I think that would have been the move, because then he'd be fighting a Thanos who isn't so calm and calculated.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing. I'm gonna let you have this one purely because of that bullshit scene where the we're all gonna end up in the same part of this giant battlefield together and have this scene that takes you out of this epic ass movie.
I had done so well at forgetting that scene entirely.
Every time I watch this movie, which is often, because usually if I watch Infinity War, I then watch Endgame.
Yeah.
I get to this moment and then I'm just like, It didn't bother me that much the opening night because the hype was unreal at that point.
Yeah.
But at yeah, man, it every time now it just takes me right out of the movie.
And it was just so weird, right? And again, like they did it a million times better in Infinity War.
Yes, they did.
So yeah, it was always a very odd decision for them to do that. And the comparison I always make would be like, how do they think it would look if they just had all the black characters just team up like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, y'all don't see how that's kind of that's not the flex you think it is.
It's just gross, right? I mean, and honestly, I don't super mind the Carol Danvers stuff in this if it weren't for this scene.
And thankfully, like, her stuff is limited.
It's very limited.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, she shot this stuff before she ever was Captain Marvel. This is like her first scenes as the character.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They shot Infinity War and Endgame, I think, in like 2018 or something like that. So when you see her in Endgame, that's her first time playing the character.
Huh.
Yeah. They shot all of this shit before they shot Captain Marvel.
Wow. Did she ever audition for the part?
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. It's so clear in this movie that they plan to replace the big three with Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then ultimately Spider-Man, too. But,
Right. Whew. I think about that god-awful Spider-Man script, bro. Like, when it was going to be having this crush on Carol.
Was that supposed to be Captain Marvel 2, or was that supposed to be No Way Home?
I don't remember.
Either way, I don't want to see that shit. I'm glad we didn't get it. But that is the top 25, everybody. I'm gonna roll them off here. Starting at number 25, we got Luke Cage, Shang-Chi, What If, WandaVision, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange, Thor 1, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming. At 15 down, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. We got Captain America Civil War, Avengers Age of Ultron, Iron Man 1, Deadpool and Wolverine. Your top 10, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, X-Men 97, Daredevil, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And your top 5, at number 5, Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 4, Marvel's The Avengers. Number 3, Captain America The Winter Soldier. Number 2, Avengers Endgame. And the end-all, be-all, number 1, Avengers Infinity War. That's our list. That is the ultimate, definitive superhero homie ranking of the entire MCU. Let us know what you think we got right. Let us know what you think we got wrong. And, hey, if you're feeling up to it, make your own list. Yeah. And throw it on them YouTube comments or email it to us or whatever you want to do with it. And we'd love to see what you guys have.
Yeah, I want to see what you guys have cooked up. I want to know how your guys' list look. Let us know so we can ridicule y'all for a change. I say that halfway jokingly.
Yeah, I mean, because we do it all the time.
Yeah. Man, this has been an amazing set of episodes. Like, I've had a blast with this.
Yeah, this has been fantastic.
Yeah. 52 various movies and TV shows all compiled together, making a list. How do you feel about the list, man, now that we've gone through it?
Looking at it here, man, I'm quite proud of it, actually.
I am, too. I'm very pleased with the list we put together.
No, I am, too, was, where we have that? Where we have Iron Man 2? Was it over here?
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, here, here, 26.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, right there.
No. Looking at this list, I don't have a problem with where anything is on it.
Yeah.
Obviously,
like, you guys use this as like a template for like what to avoid, maybe if you've never seen all of this stuff.
If I had to change something, I'd probably bump Civil War up about 5 spots. But other than that, though, I really. Me personally, that's just a movie I really enjoy. So,
yeah. And I get it. Civil War is a very enjoyable movie.
So, I mean, this list is incredible, guys. We had a lot of fun making it. I was looking forward to this all week.
Yes.
And I'm glad we got it out here. We fucking made you some content. Here's like 5 hours of content. And what are we doing next? What are we coming back with next? Is that Days of Future Past?
I think we're doing Days of Future Past next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that'd be a lot of fun.
We have the 10-year anniversary of Days of Future Past. We are going to be reviewing the road cut specifically.
Yes.
Not that they're that different, but you guys already reviewed the original, so we thought we would give the what I consider to be the better cut, even though they're both great. I'll give it a little review specifically to put a little twist on it. So we're going to have that coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that shit. So that'll be coming to you next week.
The last great X-Men movie.
Yeah. With the X-Men in the title. Yeah,
with X-Men in the title.
Honestly, it is the best X-Men movie to me with the X-Men in the title.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
Hands down.
Yeah. Shout out to you people who say X-Men 2. That's fine.
Well, the box office agrees with us. So.
Yeah. Well, this has been stupendous, and I have had a blast. But it is time for us to ride on off into the sunset once again. But homies, we will see you guys again very soon. We have a lot more on the docket. And yeah, so we're looking forward to getting all that out to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this half as much as we did. We had a blast. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.